This happened to me back in the summer of 2007, but I still vividly remember everything. I'm not usually one to get freaked out by weird stuff, but that weekend changed everything for me. I was in college at the time, and I'd had a really rough semester. Personal stuff, relationship stuff, you name it. My best friend, Emily, could tell I was on edge, so she suggested we take a break from everything and go up to her family's cabin in Wisconsin. She said it would be a perfect way to clear our heads, a quiet, isolated place deep in the woods, no cell service, no distractions. I thought, yeah, why not? It sounded peaceful, and I desperately needed that for a few days. So it was me, Emily, and her younger brother, Jack, who was about 16 at the time. The cabin belonged to their grandparents, but it hadn't been used a lot that year. And the drive up was nice, at least at first. We listened to music and joked around, but once we got deeper into the woods, it got real remote. Like the kind of remote where you don't see houses for miles, and the trees start feeling like they're closing in on you. By the time we reached the cabin, the sun was starting to set. And to be honest, older than I'd imagined, a little rundown, but it had a certain charm. There was no one around for miles, and the forest just stretched out behind it, thick and dark. I got this eerie feeling, but shrugged it off. I was basically a city girl for the last few years, so I told myself the unease was because I wasn't used to the rural setting anymore. We spent the evening setting things up, cleaning in and around the cabin a bit, and getting a fire going in the fireplace. Jack, being the teenage brother, couldn't help but joke about how we were basically in a horror movie setup. Middle of the woods, no cell reception, just the three of us. Emily rolled her eyes at him, and I laughed it off. But there was this weird energy about the place. I just told them it was likely because we weren't used to being so far from civilization. That night, we decided to make a fire outside, and we were roasting marshmallows, talking about everything. I asked Emily if her family came up here often, and that's when she mentioned something that kind of stuck with me. She said her grandparents hadn't used the cabin much, after her grandpa had some strange experiences out there. I asked her what she meant by strange, and she sort of brushed it off, saying he used to hear voices in the woods at night. She said he was old, so probably just hearing things. We laughed it off, but after she said that, the woods around us felt different and quieter. I know it sounds cliche, but there really was this heavy silence, well, like all the normal forest sounds, crickets, wind, everything just stopped.